Welcome back to Judith Plains, Montana. I'm BP, and this is the 555 Challenge. We are in October, guys. There is a lot to go over. As you just saw, we have the Volvo hooked up to our new trailer. I had the Randon trailer, and I liked it. It had a good capacity, but it was just not cooperative backing up. It was too short, so I bought the N dump. It's a little bit higher capacity, costs a little bit more money. But as you saw, we are selling silage at the farmer's market. The price is good, so we are taking advantage. Let's jump into the beast, knock out some morning chores. Well, guys, let's get you an update on what's going on at the farm. We have an absolute boatload of chickens. You can see they are all over the place. I bought some in September. I bought some this month in October already. Just trying to keep our breeding stock alive and well. Next up for the updates, as you guys can see, there is no longer a manure heap here. I had problems with the old one disconnecting, so we went ahead and replaced it. And we put a new one in down over here. I'm not totally thrilled with the positioning. I did the best I could with the landscaping and the softening, but we had to get something in. We have to be collecting manure. We have 706 liters in here, and we will use that on our fields and maybe even in our greenhouse productions and everything else. So we will get to that when we have enough to use. I have been buying animals, like I said, with the chickens. So we bought a bunch more cows. We're up to 21 cows. You can see we've got a bunch in here. Let's go take a quick look in the pasture and see how that's going. Right now, we're sticking with just dairy and beef cattle. If you are familiar with our other series, you may have already heard that the realistic livestock mod allows beef cattle to produce milk as well when they're pregnant and nursing. So essentially they're all dairy cattle and they're all beef cattle under this mod. They may produce slightly different amounts. I haven't done any testing to figure that out yet, but we are basically raising these animals so that we can get offspring and we can get milk. So we are on the last 4,468 liters of grass. We're just waiting for those animals to finish eating all that, and then we're going to put some silage in there and get their production up and running. In the back of the shed here, as you can see straight ahead, we picked up a roller. We used this to fix the grass spot that we had to fix on our grass field. And then I rolled our barley field as well. If you were really paying attention the end of last episode, I did drive the seeder directly from the grass field to the barley field and did not switch it over from grass to barley. So when we left last time, the planter where the seeder was actually putting grass in the ground, which I realized about halfway through right when I got out of the episode. So we just started over, replanted, and put in barley instead, and then got that field rolled. We are up to 35 chickens, so I'm excited for that. We should be having more babies here soon. And we'll head over to the sheep barn here in just a minute, but we have one more farm update before we head that way. As you guys can see over here in our main shop area, I did put in a shelving unit for some storage. Got our fertilizer, our herbicide, and our seeds up off the ground, just getting them nice and neatly organized. May put another one in on the other side of the case quad track over here. We also have some space back in the barn with the roller, so there are options. We'll give you guys a quick look at our new trailer. As I said, the Randon one we had, there's nothing really wrong with it. It worked fine, but it was such a short wheelbase, which was nice for getting in and out of places, but it just backing it up, it kept snapping around. It wasn't very pleasant. So we got the end dump. This one holds 73,000 liters. I believe it is a 42 foot, and we do have the grain door on the back. Now, this mod does allow you to have either the grain door, or I should say, or the grain door and the quick emptying. You can do a combination. You can have none, you can have one, you can have both. We went with the grain door and the quick empty. The reason for that is that so when we get it into the cow shed to give them some silage, the dump bed doesn't push all the way up into the roof. So you may have noticed it emptied a little bit quickly out of the grain door, and that's just so we can get into the cow shed and get them fed. So let's get in through here. Take a quick drive over to check on our sheep, see how they're doing. We have, what's it say? Head on in. We have 30 sheep and goats. I'm not exactly sure what the breakdown of that is. I have been trying to buy more goats. I can tell you guys the goat selection has not been great. These guys have a ton of food, a ton of grass. We do need to get them switched over to hay, which we'll be working on over the next couple of months. I think the next cut of grass, which I think we might actually get this year, guys. I was checking the growth calendar, and it looks like we will have one more cut of grass off our grass field over here. We'll get a full 4th stage cut. So I think we'll use that to make a bunch of hay so we can eventually make TMR for the cows, and the sheep and goats can be up to 100% effectiveness. Should check over here and see what we have for... Oh, we have half a pallet of wool, so not too shabby. I don't know if there's even a goat milk... Oh, that's a good question. Can we get goat milk out of this pen? Let's see. Oh, so there is a spot for goat milk. Not sure where that is or when it's going to be produced, but we'll have to figure that out at some point. So let's run down to the greenhouses and get them watered. I've been using this little ravine as a cut across. This is such a cool little area. All these areas in a lot of maps tend to get forgotten, but look at all the bushes and the trees and the landscaping, the ground cover. Just a really well thought out, fun area, and could have just been overlooked and just turned into, you know, could have had just one to ground texture and nothing else, but DJ Modding came through and did a really nice job on that, even though it's not a primary use area. So I've already been to the shop this morning and picked up a couple of things. One, I grabbed our tedder that had been sitting up there for a day or two. The shop folks were happy to have me take that off their hands. And then I realized when I was looking around this morning that we have a bunch of weeds in our newly planted barley field. You can see, let's see, weeds small. So I picked up the Kverland sprayer, got a bunch of herbicide, and got it connected up to the Versatile. So I think we're going to go ahead and get him working. I'm wondering how this is going to happen with the end of this field being so narrow, but we will figure it out. We'll get him up here and get him squared away and ready to work. Let's see. Perfect. Turns right on. Always like to do the first little bit as we drive onto the field. You never know how they're going to connect up with everything. So that's all turned on. We'll back this guy up just a little bit. Let's create a course for this. Okay, so one headland. We can do rounded corners. I'm not that worried about the weeds. Plus, I think trying to do square corners here could be, well, maybe we try to do square corners. Let's see. Let's give square corners a try. It may end up being a bit of a mess, but we'll generate that course. That's not bad at all. All right, and we'll set him on his merry way. So let's go ahead and get out of the way. All right, perfect. He's working. We'll let him continue doing his thing while we get the water for the greenhouses. Now, as you can see, even after selling a bunch of silage, and guys, we had 1,000,000+ liters of silage when I woke up this morning. Between the grass and the clover, we had just an absolute ton of grass. So I sold, let's see, how much did I sell? We have about 472,000 liters left, so I sold just over 500 liters of silage, which bumped us up in our money because we did spend probably about $60,000 on that new trailer, plus the weeder, or the weed sprayer, plus the herbicide as well. So we did spend some money, and we're under $1,000,000, which is making me just a little bit nervous that we don't have a good source of income. So what I think we're going to do today is figure out where the oil mill is and see about buying it and getting our canola and sunflower products down there to make oils, and try to make sure that we've invested, when we have a little bit of money, in something that's going to make us some money. I'm going to head back to the shop now, or back to the farm, and this thing just absolutely zips along so nice, so fast. We're getting around the farm. And grab our truck and go drive around and see if we can figure out where we're going. I did talk to the guys at the shop this morning when I was down there picking up the sprayer and the herbicide, and they gave me a general idea. We're looking at the south end of town, back sort of by the ethanol plant, they said. So we'll have to take a look and see what we can find. I'm hoping the production somewhere in the $200,000 to $250,000 range. That's sort of a standard cost for one of those productions. But I haven't looked at and I haven't bought any productions on this map yet, so they could be cheap, they could be expensive, they could be just exactly what we're expecting. So I think we'll leave the trailer. I don't really see any point in bringing that with us. And let's go on a quick drive to the south end of the map. We'll sort of explore. I haven't even actually really been down there at all, so interested to see what we have on that end of the map. Love this little driveway here. Look at that really nice, tall, thick corn coming in. I think we have another 2 months on that. The sheep and goat pasture is just absolutely enormous. Let's take just a quick minute and see what our worker's going to do. This is the corner I'm worried about. See how they get in there. Are they going to back into the corner? Not really sure what their plan is. Okay. So we're backing up perpendicular to the direction we probably need to be going. Okay, great. We turned around. I like that. Okay. So we just a little spray and away we went. So how does that look on the map? Can we get the map to render for us? Yeah, I mean, they got it. Okay, well, I mean, so far it's working well. So that is good news. We're getting the weeds taken care of in the barley field. But I'm excited for the corn. We're going to have some regular corn. We're going to have some dried corn. We're going to use corn and dried corn and our barley to make some whiskey. We also need to take some down to the ethanol plant. I've been reaching out to them, trying to figure out what their process is. You know, is it a quota? Is it, you know, you bring it in? Or are they going to buy it over the winter? And just try to figure all that stuff out. But we still have another month or two before that's an issue for us. I think we should have enough silo space to store the corn if we need to. Obviously, the corn that goes in the dryer will be ready to be dropped off, but we'll figure all that out when the time comes. These are our neighbors down here. They've got a nice, big, flat farm. Part of me is a little bit envious. They've got this really nice flat section of land down here. They could do a little more building than we could do, put up some new structures. But I like our farm a lot. It's got some hills, the terrain's uneven. You got to move around. It doesn't feel linear and squared off. It has a really nice feel to it. So enjoying being where we are as of now. So there's a sailboat down there in the river. Okay. Interesting. So we've got some buildings here. Okay, so they said once you get to Hobson, you're going to go to the right. Okay, so that big yellow thing off in the distance, that's part of the ethanol plant. The white buildings up there are part of the ethanol plant. So they said it's sort of back that direction. So this is the city of Hobson. Here is some shopping. That's going to keep going left. So I think when they said it's back on the right, they meant back this way. Let's see. We got a cake bakery, Lone Pine Grain Company, post office. Hey, the post office is hiring anyone looking for a job. Got a Subway. Maybe we'll grab a sandwich for lunch on the way home. Okay, Rocky Mountain Ethanol Facility. So this whole thing is the ethanol facility back in here. All right, well, I hope it's back here because this is the only way we have to go. Gas station. I'm not seeing anything that looks like a production down there. Oh, this right. What's this right here? What do we got? Olio di oro. That sounds like oil to me. Not sure why it's not in English, but hey, that does sound like the place we're going. Let's see what we can find. So, we pop back here. Truck turned off. I assume the trigger is somewhere by the back door. Okay, so buy, lease. Okay, so we want to buy it. 240,000. So we have 905, so it's going to leave us with like 665. I mean, that is a huge chunk of our money, but you know, let's go ahead and buy it. So yeah, 665 left in the bank. Head over to productions, and we have the oil plant. So we have canola oil. Let's go ahead and get that turned on and set to distributing. We have sunflower oil. Let's get that turned on and set to distributing. We don't, corn oil. I didn't know. Oh, that's okay. I was not expecting to have the ability to make corn oil, so we might need to plant more corn if we're going to do ethanol, corn oil, regular corn for the whiskey, and dried corn. We're going to need a lot of corn. So, interesting. Don't plan on doing olives, and I guess I'd forgotten that you can do rice oil. There's long grain and regular. I mean, why not? We could just make our warehouses, or our greenhouses produce rice, right? So we don't want long grain. We want regular rice. Set that to distributing. Set the sunflowers and the canola to distributing. We'll get this one cranked up. And then we come over to the other one. We want the canola distributing. The rice on and distributing. We need to once again get the productivity turned up. And then we need to make sure the sunflowers are distributing. So, yeah, I mean, that should send everything here. So we have, 5,400 liters of canola and 4,800 liters of sunflowers in this greenhouse, and almost the exact same amount in the other one. And they're set to distributing. So on the next hour, we should have some stuff in the oil mill for us to take a look at. So I'll move time scale up a little bit, and we'll take a drive back, and maybe by the time we get back, there'll be something in the oil production for us to take a look at. So I think at this stage, the plan is to start selling some oil. The silage piece of our farm is going really, really well. You know, we had, I said, 1 million liters of silage on the second month on the farm. We're waking up on the third, I guess. We are going to need more and more of the grass and the clover for the animals as our animal herds and our husbandry increases. But for right now, we're still in the building phase. Man, I blew that stop sign out of the water, guys. Just don't mind me, just driving wherever I want, not paying attention, I guess. But I think that's going to be a good part of our businesses, or part of our money making is, you know, getting some silage made in quantity. We have to mow the fields for the animals anyways. We have the equipment. The farm came with the fermenting silo. So it just seems like a natural fit for us to, you know, buy or produce and sell silage. So right now we'll get silage, we'll keep the silage going. We'll get the oil plant up and running and hopefully get some money out of that. And then sometime in October, November, December, I think December is when we can harvest our corn, I think based on the growth stage as I've seen. So we've got a couple of months before we're going to do another harvest. I guess that's not totally true because we have grass to harvest in November. So it's going to keep us pretty busy here, guys. We should be looking for more money-making opportunities. We need to continue to, you know, build our financial base. But for right now, I think we are in very good shape. And there is the versatile, and it looks like, yeah, got I guess there's couple tiny weeds on the outside edges, but that's done, guys. So that sprayer worked really, really well. Let's get back to the farm. Let's get situated. I'll run back over here and grab the versatile and bring that back. Check on the oil mill. We just turned over it to 1 o'clock hour. So we should have had some canola and sunflower and rice be distributed over to our plant, and they should be producing oil for us now. So let's first off take a look at our productions and go to the oil plant. Yeah, 11,000 canola. Can't even say that word. Canola. 140 rice because we just started that production, and then 9,700 sunflowers. Actually, it's transferring pretty regularly. So we are already producing oils. So we are in great shape as far as getting that done and getting some money made. So cutting back through our ravine. I might put a little path through here at some point. Maybe even a little double track along this way for getting things back so we don't have to drive around the sheep pen every time. This is really cool. I mean, for me, that looks like a fire lookout tower. But some sort of lookout tower there. That is really, really cool. Reminds me of some of the FS22 maps. Had stuff like that. Now, this is interesting. What happened here with our sprayer? Why didn't it fold up all the way? Let's take a look and see. Maybe the tractor just turned off. It was too slow. Who knows? Now it seems to be rolled up now, no problem. So that's nice and easy. So once we get this guy back, I think we'll take a quick look around the farm, see if there's anything else for us to get into in October. But I think at this point we are pretty well done for the month. We got some good things accomplished. I'll come back and check those fields in just a minute. But here we go. Let's drive this guy down here. Loving the new trailer setup. Looking sharp. Love that it holds just a little bit more than the Randon trailer did. Okay, so we're just going to tuck this guy in here. I didn't even realize there was more shelves on this side. That is crazy. You guys see these over here? There's more shelves on this side of the building. Huh, that's good news. Maybe I'll find some way to use those or put some storage in or something else. So, all right, let's go check on our fields real quick, get a quick update there so we can finalize our harvesting and mowing plan for the fall. Excuse me, chickens. So, the grass field, we are here. The section we replanted is only in growth stage 2 of 4, but this section is on growth stage 3 of 4. So, we'll be ready to mow next month in October, and I think we should make hay out of the field when we cut it again. Now, guys, I have no idea how clover works. I don't know if it's going to regrow. I assume it does, like grass. Okay, so it is also in growth stage 2. It needs to be fertilized. How was the grass fertilizer? Okay, the grass was fertilized 100%. This needs to be fertilized. Okay. So we should get the versatile back out and get some fertilizer put on. Our corn is growth stage 5 of 7. 100% fertilized is a 100% yield bonus. So that is some good corn, and it looks like it, guys. People before us took really good care of that field, just like everything else on the farm. It's nice to take over for people who care and did the right thing. So we just got done spraying the weeds on our barley field. Obviously, we have like very minimal growth. We're on stage 2 of 8. But we are 100% fertilized, and we have 100% yield bonus. So we are just waiting for this field to grow. So I'm going to run back and switch the versatile out and get it on the fertilizer spreader. And then we will run over and set that off in our clover field. And then we will probably call it an episode for today. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to be cutting in a little trail back through here that comes out back behind the house instead of driving all the way around. That's going to be a nice little shortcut. Let's squeeze. Oh boy, just barely fitting through there. So we'll park the beast back in the shed. Good enough. And grab the versatile and the sulky fertilizer spreader. I think it's tucked in behind the Kibernland. And pull this guy up. Drop him back here out of the way. There are just so many details. Little dumpsters, little shelves, grills, IBC containers. Oh, that was very poorly driven by me. And not talking too much and not paying enough attention. Alright, we got the sulky. Let's head over to the clover field and get the fertilizing set up there. And like I said, I think we'll call it there for an episode, guys. October was another successful month. Got the weed sprayer, got the weed sprayed on the barley field. Sold a whole bunch, several 100,000 liters of silage. We got the oil plant purchased and the product set to distributing from our greenhouses to supply that. So we are in good shape. One headland, no rounded corners. Sounds like a winning recipe to me. Not a huge field. Should not take that long for this guy to do. We'll let him work and get out of his way. But again, just a nice, successful episode. The sort of fall, early winter sunlight, the low light is really, really nice on this map, guys. Really rich colors. Looks really nice. The vehicles and the buildings all look really good. This is a really fun map. I'm excited for what we're going to be doing here. And a lot more to come. So thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to drop a like and turn on notifications for more videos. And we'll see you in the next one.